Welcome back, everyone. Uh, okay, we're going to today, I think, go through the niguns that we're going to do on this coming Shabbat. So, just as a reminder, 5 o'clock this Shabbat, we're going to do another one of these jam sessions. So, if you know of someone who should come or who would enjoy it, please bring them. They do not need to be an instrumentalist. They just need to enjoy making noise together with other people. And I keep calling it noise because I want to be clear that this is not about musical perfection, but about true sort of folk music, playing together in a way that is joyful and life-giving. So,
And
uh,
I will still happily and unhappily be skipping it because it is our wedding anniversary.
happy wedding in it. How many years, Larry?
39.
Wow, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. Um, okay, here we go. So, fretting hand, strumming hand. There you go. So I wrote out the chords a second time, which is what you see right over here. If it's easier to have the chords on their own rather than the yidis, but follow along with the yidis too. Okay, here we go. So let's get into a little bit of a groove. Two, three, four. Yeah, da, 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 yeah. Yeah, da, da, yeah. Yeah, da, da, yeah. Da, da, yeah, da, da, again. Yeah, da, da, yeah. Yeah, da, da, yeah. Yeah, da, da, yeah. Da, da, yeah. Here comes D minor. Yeah, da, 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 third part, D minor, from the top a little faster now. Second part. Second part. Okay, how did that feel?
Daniel, did you not say last time that when we're going
G7. Yep.
G7. I'm sorry.
Absolutely, and you'll catch me doing it sometimes also. And I'd like to say that I do it for musical reasons, and sometimes I do, but sometimes I also do it just because my fingers are easier to move that way.
It's much easier. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely, yep. How did it feel otherwise? Okay-ish? Yeah?
It's always hard to just keep your finger. I can make my finger go down. I mean, it's going up and down, but I only hear the down stroke. That's when I start to lose the control. So that's just what's hard for me.
So let's work on upstrokes here for a moment instead. Okay, everyone play a C chord. Sean said once they focused on abandoning strums just in favor of the chords, they were fine, which is always a good idea too, particularly in a jam session. Okay, so say this with me. Actually say it with me. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So whenever you're saying a number, you're going down, and whenever you're saying and, you're going up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to make our numbers silent and only play the ands. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now do them all. And 1 and 2 and 3 and now just the downs. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now just the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, were you able to do that? How did that feel for everyone?
Great. Can we do it a little faster?
So yeah, we could do that a little faster, but I would also say that's a great exercise for you on your own too when you're practicing. If you're having issues with your strums in general, or particularly if your ups or your downs are hard for you, doing it intentionally like that, where your wrist is still moving and what you're focusing on is when it touches the strings, right? And it's important to be saying it out loud, the 1 and 2 and when you do it, because you want to be building that connection between the numbers, the counting, and your wrist, because eventually what we'd like is your wrist to be counting for you rather than your head, if that makes sense. Okay. Let's go on. I blocked the E minor. So let's go ahead and just look at that E minor for a moment, because it's a chord we do less often. E minor. Ooh, excuse me. Where's my fret hand? There we go. Like this. And you can have that thumb around. If you have the thumb around, you're going to want to tilt the ukulele forward. If you want to not tilt the ukulele forward, have that thumb be pressing against the back, and that'll help. You can also, if this is easier for anyone, you can play both of those strings right there. So the G string also right on that 3rd fret. So you can use all 4 of your fingers. Notice that my ring finger is above my pinky finger. You don't want it like this. You want the ring finger on top. It's going to provide more stability if you do it with 4 fingers. You may find, actually, counterintuitively, that 4 fingers is easier to play than 3 fingers, because it really kind of roots you with your whole hand, right? Because then you're just gripping the whole neck is what's happening. And you can hear the difference between that and... and music theory-wise, what's happening here is, so right in an E minor chord, we've got an E, not an F, we've got a G and a B, E, G, B. And so what's happening here is, right, this is a G right here. That's what that string is when it's open. And if instead we go G, G sharp, A sharp, B, right there. What we're doing is we're putting the fifth of the chord rather than the third of the chord there. And a fifth on the bass note is going to sound more stable than the third. But either works. And if you're totally confused by what I just said, don't worry about it and just play whatever is most comfortable to you.
Amy's game's always described as the steps.
The stair step one. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's helpful for, that's how I think of it now too. Yep. It's also the same. Oh, go ahead, Mom.
Why is this called Lincoln Snickoo?
That's the name of this. It's written by someone named Joey Weisenberg, and it kind of has a Civil War kind of sound to it, particularly the version that he does. Okay. One more yawn, and you'd think I haven't had coffee today, but I've had like 6 cups today somehow, and I just can't wake up. Not really 6 cups, but okay. Yeah, right.
To throw in that there's a recent study showing that 2 to 3 cups of coffee are very good health-wise.
I actually think I've had 3 cups, so Dr. Ray says that that's what I should do. That's what I'm doing, you know. Okay, there's our strum. And I clicked the wrong button. Here we go. Starting with our C. Now I'm all doing just downs here. Down, 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 down. Here we go. Second line. Here comes the G. Top again. Okay, I want to pause for a moment and talk about what I changed up in the strumming, because this is a really easy way to have add some musical interesting pieces to your strum. So I'm doing down, down, blank, bound, down, pause, down, down, pause, down, down, pause, down, down. But what I'm doing is when I come to a chord switch from the C to the F, we've got 2 downs, right? Down, down. I'm doing the first down as the previous chord and the next down as the new chord. So like this. Just watch me how I do this. F C D C C F F F F C C C C G G G G G G G G C C. Does that make sense what I'm saying? We're at the transition between the chords. I'm playing the old chord for the first down and the new chord for the second down. It just adds kind of a interesting musicality to it. Absolutely don't have to do it, but something to work on. Yeah, Linda?
Can you just say that you're using... I get it.
There you go.
Okay.
Yep, you just did it. That's exactly it. If you want to practice this, let's just go between C's. Here, go. Let's just go between C's and F's for a second, okay? So we're going to do 4 C's and then 4 F's. Except what we're really going to do is we're going to do 3 C's and then 4 F's and then 4 C's and then 4, right? So we're going to do C, 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 F, 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 C, C, C. How did that feel? Where do we go? Okay. Try from the top. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. C, F. F, C, C, F. F, C, C, G, again. C, F. F, C, C, F. F, C, C, G, C. Whoa, whoa. Second part. Lecha, do, si, li, ji, ka, si, C, F, sha, si, ne, ji, ba, la. Now we're on the second to last line. Oh, A minor, here comes E minor, E minor. Now F once, G once, C, F, 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 O, C, G, G, C. Again. Now I'm just gonna move to a more typical strum. Again, that top part. Here comes A minor. Lecha, do, E minor, F and G and C. B'nei Shabbat, Nika, Habila. Okay, how did that feel? I love that one. And you sort of feel, particularly when we do a beat like that, why it's called Lincoln's Nigun, right? Doesn't it have that kind of marching and...
Yes. It's the North, the Union marching on the South.
Yeah, exactly. That's by someone named Joey Weisenberg. And I'm going to drop a link right here because he has just the most... Oops, sorry. I accidentally opened up last week's Bat Mitzvah. Joey Weisenberg, Hadar Ensemble. So I'm gonna put this link in here, but he just has wonderful, wonderful music. I do a number of his tunes, but he's got great stuff on YouTube. Just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. With choir, with multi-instrumentalists, with really beautiful. So if you want to peruse that music, highly recommended. And all of a sudden you'll start recognizing a lot of the tunes that I do as well as a part of services. Okay, any other thoughts before we go on?
Love that one. Love it.
Yeah.
I love that little challenge. It's not that bad of a challenge. It's kind of a good one, the little getting that strum.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly.
Really good.
Exactly. And there we go. Okay, in fact, this one I even just called Weisenberg Nigun on here. So we're going to start by getting the tune down, and we'll get the tune down by just doing one strum for each, which is also how we started most of the Niguns at the session we did last time. Oh, very important question. I have a branding question for you all. So we've been calling it Jewish Music Jam Session, which is very descriptive of what it is and a little bit of a mouthful. What do we think about calling it the Nigun Collective?
are you talking about what to call? What exactly? Are you talking about what we're doing on a Saturday night?
Yeah. Does Nigun
And are
Collective...
you naming the music or the event?
The event. So advertising it as Nigun Collective Jewish Music Jam Session.
Oh, I like that.
Do you not want to say anything about Havdalah?
It'll have Havdalah too as a part of it for sure, yeah. And these are scheduled, by the way. We've got them once a month now, and the intention is that this is going to be an ongoing program. That once a month we're going to have this over and over again. Yeah.
Well, that's a cool.
Oh, I'm sorry, Linda. I muted you as I was getting ready to play, but unmute if you were saying something. Okay, let's bring this back in. There we go. Really straightforward song. C's, A minors, F's, and G's. So, just getting the feel down here. Yum diddy dum diddy day, yum diddy dum diddy do, yum diddy dum diddy day, yay day yada day day do. So let's pay attention to that second line there. The sort of fourth measure, right? So we've got the first measure is 4 C's. The second measure is C C A minor A minor. The third is 4 C's, and then the fourth one is a little different. It's F, G, G, A minor. So you've only got 1 on an F, 2 on G, and then 1 on A minor. So it's just a little bit of a different rhythm than we're used to, which is what makes this otherwise quite straightforward tune a lot more musically interesting, is to add that in. So let's do this all together. Yum diddy dum diddy day, yum diddy dum diddy do, yum diddy dum diddy day, yay day yada day day do. Again, yum diddy dum diddy day, yum diddy dum diddy do, yum diddy dum diddy day, yay day yada day day do. Second part. Yum diddy dum diddy day day, yum diddy dum diddy dee da do, yum diddy dum diddy day day, yay day yada day day do. Second part again. Yum diddy dum diddy day day, yum diddy dum diddy dee da do, yum diddy dum diddy day day, yay day yada day yay yo. Okay, make sense? And I don't know if you caught it there, Ray, but I played the G7 instead of a G, and really was not on purpose or thoughtful. It was sitting there waiting for me. Okay, now let's get into a groove. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Yum diddy dum diddy day, yum diddy dum diddy do, yum diddy dum diddy day, yay day yada day day do, yum diddy dum diddy day, yum diddy dum diddy do, yum diddy dum diddy day, yay day yada day day do. Second part. Yum diddy dum diddy day day, yum diddy dum diddy dee da do, yum diddy dum diddy day day, yay day part two. Yum diddy dum diddy da ya da. Yum diddy dum diddy dee da do. Yiddy dum diddy da ya da. Ya da ya da da ya yo. Okay, thoughts on that one?
I think that last line, Rabbi D, where you keep the G and it's sort of like almost a syncopated rhythm there right at the end. Yeah, the F, G, G, A minor.
Yep.
That's a little hard for me. The catching that last G.
Yep. I don't know if it's easier, but I'll notate it now exactly the same way I notated it.
It just feels like the timing is a little different than anything else.
Yep. So this right here, right, these, is exactly the same rhythm and timing as this one. Does that make sense?
Could you just play it once, not too fast, where we could hear how you do the timing on that?
Yep, for sure. Yum diddy dum diddy di di, yum diddy dum diddy do, yum diddy dum diddy di di, ya da ya da di di do. I'll do that again. Ya da ya da di di do.
Is that the last line?
I was doing the second line of the top part, but they're identical to each other. Right now, I'll do the bottom part. Yum diddy dum diddy di da, yum diddy dum diddy dee da do, yum diddy dum diddy di da da, ya da ya da di di do, ya da ya da di di do, ya da 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 di di do. It follows the singing, so if you can get the singing down, just have the chords follow the singing, right? Ya da ya da di di do. Okay, let's go on. Okay, we're gonna play the bottom one here. D minors, C's, B flats, and remember we can do a B flat that's kind of leaves that bottom A string open if that's easier, but of course this is a preferred B flat where you use your index finger to bar both of them, and it's the side of your index finger that you're going to use, and it's the side that is closest to your thumb that you're going to use to bar if you're doing it. And another reminder that it's really pretty impossible to play this chord without pointing your neck away from you. If you've got your uke flat on your chest, you are not going to be able to play this B flat, but if you point it away from you, it'll be a lot easier. Yeah, Ray.
I thought we had officially designated this the dreaded B flat.
The dreaded B flat, exactly. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it's also for guitar players. It is one of those chords. It's an F on a guitar. That's sort of a marker of jumping to a more complex fingering place. Okay, so let's go ahead and try this. Olam Chesed, starting with the D minor. Olam Chesed Yibane. Here comes that dreaded B flat. Yadadai, yadadai, ay, ay. Olam Chesed Yibane. Yadadai, yadadai, ay, ay. Second line. Olam Chesed Yibane. Yadadai, yadadai, yadadai. Olam Chesed Yibane. Yadadai, yadadai, yadadai. Olam Chesed Yibane. Yadadai, yadadai, yadadai. Olam Chesed Yibane. Yadadai. bane. Last time. Olam chesed yibane. Okay, how'd that one feel? Which is, I'm going to take that as fine, other than the dreaded B flat.
All the Nagoons have just been, I thought, lovely, nice to play, nice to sing.
Yeah.
I figure if enough people play the B flat, I can fake my way by skipping it.
Join the club.
Yep.
I would just say I would not skip it because you won't be able to tell that you aren't doing it right. And the more you keep doing it, someday, it's only taken me about 10 years to play F.
Which is the guitar chord of this, yeah. Yeah.
But it's good to keep trying.
I'm looking forward to really all of us hitting that B flat and it being just a moment of silence. In fact, maybe that's what we'll start calling it. You know, after the Amidah during services, we'll say, and now would like to invite everyone to have a moment of B flat.
Linda, you spoke glibly of 10 years to someone of my age. That's pretty significant.
I should take that back. 10 minutes.
Okay, let's do David Melech. We haven't played this one in a while, but we might play it there. Let me see. I can probably... okay, so the only chord on here that we are not as familiar with is that C7, which we haven't played a ton of recently, but it might be the very easiest chord on a ukulele because it is, of course, just your first finger on the first fret on the highest string, and that's it. And in fact, you'll see it in parentheses here, which means you can skip it if you want to. You can just stay on that C if you'd like. Okay. So we've got our D minor, we've got our C, we've got our C7, we've got our D minor, C, and we've got our B flat, we've got our C, and we've got our D minor, which is that same progression that we had in the Olam Chesed, right? B flat to C to B minor. And let me show you what I'm doing there. Not that you should do this, but I think it illustrates something about music theory on a stringed instrument, a fretted string instrument. So we've got our B flat, right? And then if I take that same position and I slide it up 2 frets, it becomes a C. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my index finger, and instead of covering 2 strings, I'm going to have it cover 3 strings. And I'm going to slide up 2 more frets. I'm going to lift up my middle finger. And this is going to become a D minor. So I'm going to show you that this chord, which looks quite intimidating and unusual to you, right? This D minor chord. So let's just go backwards for a second. If we keep shifting this backwards until all of a sudden that index finger becomes just open strings, you'll see that that's an A minor, right? This is an A minor shape that we're shifting up to the 5th fret, and it becomes a D minor. So you'll see me do this sometimes. B flat, and C, and D minor. Not that you should do that, but I thought it might be helpful just in terms of a little bit of music theory there for a moment, practical music theory. Okay. Here we go. This one always has kind of a bouncy feel to it. Da 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 da. Here we go. David Melech, Melech Yisrael. David Melech, Melech Yisrael. Second line. David Melech, Melech Yisrael, Melech Yisrael, Chai v'kayam, osim David Melech, Melech Yisrael. David Melech, Melech Yisrael. Melech Yisrael. Chai v'kayam. Okay, how'd that one feel? Little harder as we get faster. Is that what that look was, Sean? So remember, so I'll show you here how we'll do it. That if once you start getting faster, you can always cut your strum speed in half, right? So when I start going, David Melech, Melech Yisrael. So my hand's going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, down. I can't even say it as fast as my hand's going, right? What we can do is just cut our hand exactly in half. And this is the same speed. David Melech, Melech Yisrael. David Melech, Melech Yisrael. David Melech, Melech Yisrael. Melech. And during the jam session, you can even go to just like strumming on the 1 and the 3, right? David Melech. As we get real fast. David Melech, Melech Yisrael. David Melech, Melech Yisrael. Right? And all of a sudden we're singing it really fast and you're not actually having to play very fast. So always, always, always feel comfortable going to that. And it's not just like a cheat. First of all, it adds an interesting musical quality, particularly when you're in a jam session to do that. But also, if I'm playing by myself, you know, that's a song I'll do often with kids. They love it. You know, you get faster and faster and faster, and it gets that kind of great frantic energy. And as we get faster and faster, I am unable to, you know, physically move my right hand wrist that fast. And so I'll just cut in half, and we'll keep speeding up and cut in half again. And you can sort of do it like downshifting an old stick shift car. Okay. Any thoughts? Anything? About any of these songs, about the jam session this week?
I just hope we keep playing Here Comes the Sun.
We are going to keep playing. We can end with Here Comes the Sun if you want. We have a couple minutes. Let me see where I put it. Here it is. Okay. And Linda, I meant to, I even went to go record you a little video for this and forgot to. But if what you want to do is you want to, if what you'd like is to sort of make it instrumental. Right? Oh, you don't, oh, sorry, I didn't hit the original sound. Here we go. If you want it to be instrumental like this. So if you want something like that, what I'm doing is, let me zoom in on my fretting hand. So I'm doing. And then at the beginning, I'm just doing all open strings. And then I'm putting my third finger on the E string other than the A string. Don't worry if that was confusing. I think Linda was the one I was really thinking of. I can make you a little video doing that in depth too, Linda, if you'd like a little later. Just
I'll take it. That would be awesome.
okay.
I love it.
So let's play the song. Let me bring in the screen. There we go. And here we go. It feels like years since you've been A7, which is just your index finger right there, right, on the C string, first fret. Son, I'll say it's all right. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since you've been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, I say, it's all right. Okay, good to be with everyone as always. Would love it if you are on social media to please share about the jam session this week. You can reshare the CRC one. You can post your own invitation. Friends that you have in town who enjoy music. They do not have to be musicians. Bring them, encourage them to come, because the more people we can have in that room, in that space, making noise together, the more powerful it is. The only rule that we have is no spectators. It's not a performance. Everyone sings. Good to be with everyone, and see you on